There's a moment that happens to all of us, a quiet, unassuming crack in time where everything shifts. For me, it came on an ordinary Tuesday morning, sitting at my kitchen table with nothing but the hum of the refrigerator and the weight of another day stretching ahead. I didn't know then what I know now, that transformation doesn't announce itself with fireworks or fanfare. It whispers. And when you listen, it changes everything. That whisper began as a question, a single thought that refused to leave me alone. What if who I am right now isn't who I have to be? The idea was terrifying and exhilarating all at once, like standing on the edge of a cliff knowing you could either fall or fly. But here's the truth about cliffs. They exist for one reason only, to make you choose. That day I chose. I started small. So small it felt almost laughable. A single act of intention, repeated over and over again until it became muscle memory. Gratitude. Not the kind you write in a journal because someone told you to, but raw, unfiltered acknowledgement of what already exists in your life. At first it felt forced, awkward even. Like trying to speak a language I'd forgotten how to pronounce. But then something shifted. Gratitude has a way of rewiring your brain. It forces you to see what's working instead of obsessing over what's broken. By noon, I noticed the sun streaming through my window differently. By evening, I caught myself smiling at strangers, not out of obligation but because something inside me had softened. This wasn't just positivity, this was clarity. Clarity born from practice, not perfection. And yet, the real magic happened later, when gratitude collided with accountability. Because seeing the good is only half the battle. The other half is owning your role and creating more of it. That night, I sat down and made a list, not of goals but of actions. Tiny commitments to myself, each one rooted in the belief that change starts with responsibility. Responsibility isn't sexy. It doesn't sell self-help seminars or Instagram captions. But it works. Every action I took, no matter how small, created momentum. Momentum turned into consistency, and consistency became identity. Who you are today is simply the sum of the choices you've made up until now. But who you'll be tomorrow, that's entirely up to you. If you're feeling stuck, if you're tired of waiting for life to happen to you, I urge you to explore deeper. There's wisdom waiting for you, lessons distilled from years of trial and error, crafted into tools you can use starting today. Check out the books linked in the description below. Each page is a step closer to becoming the person you were always meant to be. But back to the story. Because stories are where we find ourselves. On that same Tuesday night, after writing my list, I did something radical. I forgave myself. Not for anything major, but for the 1,000 tiny ways I'd let myself down without even realizing it. Forgiveness isn't about forgetting, it's about releasing. Letting go of the version of yourself that keeps you tethered to old wounds and outdated beliefs. By midnight, I was exhausted, but alive in a way I hadn't been in years. Alive not because of some grand achievement, but because of the simple, deliberate acts I'd chosen to take. Acts that reminded me I am both flawed and capable. Broken and whole. Human and infinite. Here's the thing about habits. They don't change you overnight. They change you in increments so subtle you barely notice until you wake up one day and realize you no longer recognize the person staring back at you in the mirror. And that's the power of it. Transformation sneaks up on you when you commit to the process rather than the outcome. So what will you choose today? Will you wait for permission, for validation, for the stars to align? Or will you decide right now that enough is enough? Enough waiting. Enough doubting. Enough settling. You are the author of your own story, and every word you write matters. The clock is ticking. 24 hours from now, you'll either be the same person you are today, or someone stronger, braver, wiser. The difference lies not in wishing but in doing, in choosing, in committing, and in trusting that the smallest steps taken consistently lead to the greatest leaps. You have everything you need within you. Now go prove it.